Ahoj, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. In this video, I would like to talk about the preposition for in English and how to translate it in Czech. Why did I choose this topic? Well, because when I have my lessons one-on-one, some of my students, English speakers, are translating in their head from English into Czech. And many times you will come across the preposition for. And here is the good question. Is it pro? Is it za? Is it na? Or is it even something? So in this video, I would like to give you some examples and tips on how to translate for correctly into Czech. The examples will be limited, but I will try to cover as much as possible. Jdeme na to. Our first choice of translating for into Czech is pro. Pro. When you use pro, it is usually used for an addressee. You have some kind of receiver. That receiver is usually a person, but it doesn't have to be. Let's see how it works when you have a person in mind. So imagine there is a person and something is directed towards that person, that addressee. You have a gift. So you say, mám pro tebe dárek. Mám pro tebe dárek. I have a gift for you. Pro tebe. Or it could be someone's name. Mám dárek pro Marii. I have a present for Marie. Mám dárek pro Marii. So you imagine this arrow, something, is directed towards an addressee. Mám dárek pro Marii. Mám pro tebe dárek. Something is meant for someone. Koná se školení pro manažery. There is a workshop for managers. Koná se školení pro manažery. Or you walk into a restaurant and you say, stůl pro dva, prosím. A table for two, please. Stůl pro dva. Kup žrádlo pro psy. Buy food for dogs. Kup žrádlo pro psy. So you see, it doesn't have to be a person, it can be an animal, a living creature. Some of you might wonder, what case do we use after pro? It is always the accusative case. In fact, all the examples that I will mention here will be followed by the accusative case. So that's a great thing. It's a great advantage because all the prepositions that we are going to use take the accusative case. Now, a couple of examples with pro when it is not used with a person, but it is still meant, it is still indicated for something. So you still imagine this arrow. Je to dobré pro zdraví. It's good for health, for your health. Je to dobré pro zdraví. To je portál pro města a obce. That's a portal for towns and villages. To je portál pro města a obce. So they are the addressee as well. They are the receivers benefiting from something, or this portal is meant for them. And of course, we don't mean just the town itself. We mean also the people living in the town. Vpravo je jízdní pruh pro autobusy. On the right, there is a lane for buses. Vpravo je jízdní pruh pro autobusy. Pro is also often used with certain verbs. One of those verbs would be the verb to go, jít, and all its other derivatives, so jít, přijít, přicházet, chodit, would often take pro when you want to say that you go and get something. That's not necessarily an addressee, but you still imagine this arrow, this direction. You go somewhere to get something. Jdu si k tobě pro radu. I'm coming to you for advice. Jdu si k tobě pro radu. Prosím tě, dojdi pro brambory. Go get some potatoes. Go for potatoes, please. Prosím tě, dojdi pro brambory. Přišel jsem si pro knížky. I came here for books. I came here to pick up books. Přišel jsem si pro knížky. So you see, sometimes in English we would not even translate it as a preposition. Or the verb hlasovat pro, to vote for. When you vote in favor, so you can say, hlasuju pro změnu plánu. I'm voting for the change of plans. Hlasuju pro změnu plánu. And this is just a side note. Czech people, including me sometimes when I forget, like to translate phrases such as sense of humor with sense for humor. Because in Czech we say smysl pro humor. Mám dobrý smysl pro humor. I have a good sense of humor. So, smysl pro humor, sense of humor. Smysl pro zodpovědnost, a sense of responsibility. Smysl pro zodpovědnost. And so on. So every time you want to say sense of, it would be smysl pro. The arrow again. So another possibility of translating for is na. Na can be translated as so many things, but here I only want to talk about for. By the way, if you would like to practice prepositions, not necessarily around this topic, you can check my playlist here on YouTube, which is called Common Czech Prepositions. I focus on Czech prepositions and I give you lots and lots of examples. Na. When we translate na as for, one of the meanings is purpose. So there is a purpose. Imagine you have an object and this object was designed for something. For example, nůž na sír. Knife for cheese. Okay, I know this is not the first option in English. You would probably say cheese knife, but you could say this knife is for cheese only. Don't use it for bread. To je nůž na sír. Nůž na sír.
Promiňte, to je snad trochu moc, ne? A máte nůž na sír?
Nůž na sír? Jí to po bochnici.
And again, it's followed by the accusative case, in case you wanted to know. Na co to je? Na co to je? What is this for? Na co to je? Purpose. Or you can say, nemám na nic čas. I don't have time for anything. Nemám na nic čas. Mám čas na oběd. I have time for lunch. Mám čas na oběd. Na to máš času dost. You have enough time for that. Na to máš času dost. Jsi dost starý na to, abys věděl, že tohle se na veřejnosti neříká. You're old enough to know that we don't say this in public. Jsi dost starý na to, abys věděl, věděla, že tohle se na veřejnosti neříká. Dost starý na. Old enough to know, old enough for knowing. Also, when you say that you go somewhere for a certain time, that's not necessarily a purpose, but when you say for a certain time, that often takes na as well. Jedu tam na 14 dní. I'm going there for 2 weeks, for 14 days. Jedu tam na 14 dní. Jedu na dovolenou na týden. I'm going for a vacation for a week. Jedu na dovolenou na týden. The purpose of me leaving is for a vacation and going for a week. Notice that sometimes when we speak about time, we don't translate the for preposition. For example, už jsem tady týden. I've been here for a week. Už jsem tady týden. That would be related with the location that you are or have been somewhere or will be there. Budu tam týden. I'll be there a week. Compare this phrase with pojedu na dovolenou. I will go, where you have this movement. So pojedu na dovolenou na týden. That's the arrow versus jsem tady týden. I've been here a week. The preposition for can also be translated by a number of verbs that in Czech are followed by na. For example, čekat na or počkat. Počkám na tebe. I will wait for you. Počkám na tebe. Now the third preposition, za. Za is also commonly used to translate for. The preposition za is often used when you have an exchange. You receive something and you give something back. So usually when you pay and you want to say how much money you paid for that thing, it would be za. Koupil si auto za 1 000 000 korun. He bought a car for 1 million crowns. Koupil si auto za 1 000 000 korun. Děkuju za kávu. Thank you for the coffee. Děkuju za kávu. This one is really important because we often say thank you for this and that. So děkuju za. And remember, za also takes accusative in this case. By the way, it can also take instrumental, but I'm not going to talk about this here. Or you're at the market and the seller makes you an offer. He says, tohle je za 140 korun, ale pro vás je to za 120 korun. So this costs 140 crowns, but for you it is 420 crowns. I used pro vás, so you remember pro is the receiver and za is the exchange. So we have these two arrows. Pro vás je to za 120 korun. Udělám to za tebe, neboj. I'll do it for you, don't worry. Udělám to za tebe, neboj. So this is like, I'll do it instead of you, But notice that also, if you want to do something for someone as a favor, they would say, udělám to pro tebe. Udělám to pro tebe, that's a favor. I'll do it for you instead of you. Udělám to za tebe. Me in your place, exchange. Or when you want to express gratitude. Jsem vděčná za to, že je hezky. I'm grateful for a beautiful weather. Jsem vděčná za to, že je hezky. Za to, že. Now I would like to tell you a couple of verbs that take za. Just like you can say vděčný or vděčná za, to be grateful for something, you can also use the verb vděčit za. To thank for. That's a little bit more formal. Vděčím vám za podporu. I'm thankful to you for your support. Vděčím vám za podporu. We already talked about děkuju za, děkovat za, thank for, děkuju za kávu, děkuju za oběd, thank you for lunch. Děkovat za is really to say thank you for, and vděčit za is to feel grateful for something. On the other hand, you can say omlouvám se za zpoždění. I'm sorry for the delay. Omlouvat se za, to apologize for something. Považovat za, to be considered or to be taken for. So for someone or for someone else, for something. Považuji tě za nejlepšího kamaráda. I consider you, I take you for my best friend. Považuji tě za nejlepšího kamaráda. Zodpovídat za, to be responsible for something. Zodpovídá za rozpočet pro celou firmu. He or she is responsible for the budget for the whole company. Zodpovídá za rozpočet pro celou firmu. So you see that sometimes you have sentence where you have for several times and it's translated as various prepositions. For example, tady jsou peníze za nákup pro dědu. Here's the money for shopping for grandpa. Peníze za nákup means that you already did the shopping, you paid with your money, and then someone reimburses you. Peníze za nákup, reimbursement. Whereas peníze na nákup is the purpose. You get the money so you can go and get the groceries or do the shopping. Peníze na nákup. A to je ode mě všechno. Visit my blog post here if you would like to practice with an exercise and also find this topic transcribed. You will also find the link below the video. I would also like to thank to everyone who has purchased my ebook Just in Case. Děkuju za to, že jste si objednali moji učebnici. If you would like to practice grammatical cases, you can check this link and also the link below the video. This book focuses on the Czech grammatical cases and this topic is also explained in there. And I have one more announcement. Because it's summertime, I'm going to rest a little. I'll try. I like to work too, but I'm going to take a little break from recording long videos. That means that you might not find my videos published every Thursday for a month or two, but I will not be gone, definitely. I'll keep publishing a couple of quizzes in the YouTube community. I will record short videos every once in a while, but it will not be regular. So stay put, keep practicing Czech. I've made lots of videos that you can find here on YouTube for free. Or if you want to support my work, I would be really happy if you order my book Just in Case. It's an early bird offer, so this price will not stay forever. I'm sure this book will be very helpful for you if you're serious about studying Czech. Mějte se krásně, užívejte si léto. Čau, čau.